The following was shared by user The Northwest Wind, who regularly shares his outdoor adventures and camping trips. This time he entered a forest in Cleveland on a cold January night. The ice covered everything in his path, and he states that for whatever reason he felt a bit uneasy, almost as if something was following him that day.
I don't know what it is here, but I keep feeling like somebody's watching me, and it's like very strong feeling, like hair on the back of my neck standing up. I don't know why, I'm just spooked. I haven't been saying that, but I've been spooked since I got here. I keep feeling like somebody's watching me. And then seeing that person. I know it's a public park, but still.
As night fell, it was time to take shelter in his tent, and this is where things began to take a totally chilling turn.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. They're getting closer, hang on. Hang on. I don't like this at all, I'm spooked. Hello? Hello?
In complete darkness, Sam hears disturbing footsteps that are slowly approaching. He tries to make contact with whomever was walking around out there, but he does not receive any response. Then things take a turn for the worse.
Alright, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello? What do you want? Say something, I see you! They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. All right, they're moving again. I don't know. I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, get the hell out of here. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I smell right at the edge of the wood line. It's about 150 yards away. Hang on. You see that? I see you! I can see you! Oh, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. All right, let's get... I don't know if they're like after me or something, or... It's getting bigger. They're coming this way. I'm calling the police!
He thinks that there had to be at least one other person and was technically forced to flee the scene immediately, leaving all of his equipment behind in the process. The next morning, Sam returns to the campsite and realizes that none of his equipment had been stolen, which was a bit odd, he finds. He has no idea who exactly it was that was scaring him the night prior, but many believe that escaping was the safest thing he could do. What do you believe happened here? This video was recorded in a hospital by a surveillance camera. On the video we can see a person walking by in the corridor, but after that a wheelchair seems to appear out of nowhere. Nothing out of the ordinary, until after zooming in a bit closer. One could think that a ghostly shape is getting off the wheelchair. It vanishes into thin air. Project Ember shares many of his road and camper stories on his channel. He talks a lot about living in the outdoors in his trusty ride. Today was different, however. The video was supposed to be about him fixing the old fridge that broke while up a mountain in France. After taking his fridge outside to start the repairs, he noticed that his dog Lance seemed to be staring at something, but the man himself didn't notice anything.
Right. Lance, mate. I know, but I'm really busy. It's not warm in there. Why are you warm?
This is where the scary event started unfolding.
Now, I'm sure with house fridges you're supposed to... Right, so I'm pretty sure with a house fridge, if you move it, you're supposed to leave it like 12 or 24 hours to settle, for the gas to settle. Now I've just flipped it upside down and back again, so I'm going to give it the full 24 hours, I think, to... What are you looking at? You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there. I'm seriously freaked out now. A minute ago I could hear like really loud moaning, like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. I got to this old well and it stopped. I mean, that thing's wild freaky. It's like something out of The Ring. But just as soon as I got here, just from over there, there's no track or anything, it's just wood. This girl appeared, dressed like kind of like a monk, no shoes, no hair, and that goes to the road. But down where she went that way, there's nothing, and there's nothing for miles. Where did she go? I'm gonna leave.
Who could this mysterious girl have been? And why was she dressed like that? He also tells us that his dog normally likes to come up to people and likes to greet them. This time, however, he did not. He mentions that weird things started happening that evening.
Got a clue what was going on there. That was so weird. The well, the moaning from the forest, the girl, Nah, maybe there's an explanation to it all. I saw the girl another 2 times. The last time I was near the van and she was running through the forest. I left. I was gone. I was gone so fast. I didn't even pack the van away. Yeah, it's a pretty big mess in here.
It is a strange encounter after all, wouldn't you say? The following case was documented in Brazil by a group of young people who decided to explore an old abandoned asylum, an asylum founded in 1973, and which served as a place to provide care to patients with mental illnesses. But after controversial issues that occurred inside the asylum, it ended up closing its doors. Creepy stories are being told about the so-called pink room of the asylum, a place where children with certain illnesses were cared for. And those young people dared to take a brief tour of the facilities, and it got quite a bit spooky once they entered the pink room.
Já chegamos. Tô com medo! Entramos. Gente do céu. Olha o tanto que a gente andou, olha isso. É muito grande. Agora a gente tá indo pra ala rosa. A ala rosa é a mais pesada que tem. Pra você ter noção, ele veio uma vez e não quer nem descer. A gente tá numa parte onde tem vários brinquedos. Tem vários, a Emília. Aqui é a parte de brinquedos. 5 e essa é a ala rosa que a gente...
Não, tia.
Foi vocês? Jura por Deus, jura.
Eu tava junto com ela.
Tipo, aqui real é bem pesado.
A sudden and strong knock alerted them, and things certainly took a turn for the worse.
A rosa, que é a pior ala que tem. Gente, quanto barro no chão. Aqui é a lavagem de roupa. A gente tá indo pros outros lados, que é bem escondida a ala rosa. Que é onde o povo ficava, tipo, real presaço. Bom, a gente tá indo agora pro necrotério.
It's quite bizarre, but you can clearly see people standing on the second floor of the facilities, seemingly watching the group as they walk past. And it was certain that nobody else was there at the time, and these people can apparently be seen standing in the pink room. Was it residual spirits of those patients who saw their end within these walls? Andrew B. has forwarded the following video. It was supposedly captured at an office building that was undergoing renovation work. One day, one of the security men noticed something rather intriguing going on in front of the surveillance cameras. A steady stream of smoke seems to make it out of the room into the hallway, and the security guard, as well as most of the viewers, were baffled. Could it just be some regular smoke that somehow catches the light and is being moved by a wind breeze or something? Unlikely, say many. Do you agree? Let me hear your explanation what this could be. Adrian has sent the next video, which he stumbled across a couple of months ago. The story goes that the young boy in the video was setting up his game console, and he wanted to record a short clip about it. The second he gets distracted though, his cell phone can capture an odd thing. There seems to be an ominous shadow figure with a relatively small statue standing in front of the sofa. As far as I can tell, there was nobody else in the room at the time. Does anybody of you have some info about it? It certainly looks a bit creepy, I'd say, doesn't it? The following video was recorded by a driver who was taking a narrow road in the mountains at the time. He was on his way to an old village, which was situated at the end of the mountain. There's a lot of eerie stories about ghostly passengers that can be seen walking on this old road, and even the driver states that he saw some strange things on this road. The passenger of the vehicle was documenting the nightly drive, and as it happens, captured something odd on the side of the road. A faceless, bald, and very tall figure can be seen walking on the road. This thing is wearing a long red dress, which makes this recording even more creepy. They have no idea if this was just a regular person who was walking in pitch darkness on the road, or if this was something else. Quite mysterious, wouldn't you say? The following has been shared by user BlunderDefect, and he states that the CCTV camera mounted outside and facing the car shed has recorded some really unusual light anomalies. Their night security system has been triggered once in a while, because it apparently had detected movement overnight. Every time this happened, the CCTV camera could not capture any intruder, or person for that matter. Is it maybe related? Let's see. Some viewers believe that this could maybe just be cigarette smoke, for whatever reason. But many people answer to that, saying that smoke from a cigarette would be hot, so it would not rise until it dissipates, which is a fair point. And it doesn't seem to be a light reflection from nearby. But what else could it be? The movement of whatever it is pretty unique. If you have any idea, please let us know. A couple of nights after this incident, the man started a Skype video chat with one of his friends. They both wanted to play some games together, just a regular evening on a weekend. But then something else joined in on the fun. Could it be that this is the same spirit of the woman that was haunting him before? This time we can hardly recognize her face, but the body looks like it belonged to a woman. The man never found out the reason behind this haunting. The next clip comes to us from ClipHunt2, who is an alleged ghost hunter and who was out the following night to hunt for the spirit of a notorious kuntilanak. Apparently, this being was seen several times in the past when roaming around close to an abandoned building in the outskirts of town. After a few hours, he caught the following. He stated that he didn't notice this woman in the distance, just standing there with her hair down. So he continued his investigation for a while. total, he caught this woman 3 times this night, but commented that he only saw her in the last capture. He returned home shortly after. So, what exactly did he capture here this night? Do you think this was a being from another realm, or was it just a confused woman? The following sighting was caught by channel with the name Akron Paranormal Investigations in the early morning hours. Gettysburg is known for its many sightings of spirits and ghostly events, and it's not surprising that Akron could capture something really interesting on camera. While the owner of the channel is filming a wide field of where history transpired in 1863, he noticed an odd transparent figure in the distance.
What the heck?
It appears that a man in a black suit and hat is walking across the fields. Is it a spirit from another time period? The cameraman is 100% certain that no living soul was with him, or any other person in general could have been walking these fields at the time. The following encounter was shared by Kimberly Carlisle, and she tells us that this October, their camera, which is mounted outside of their porch and overseeing the driveway, might have captured something otherworldly. Capturing bugs fly past the lens is nothing extraordinary, but this night they apparently have received a motion alert, saying that a person was standing in front of their door. After watching the replay, they state that they were quite a bit speechless. It would appear that something is manifesting right next to the car, something that does certainly look quite a bit odd. The family had no explanation for this occurrence, and had never seen anything like it. If this was hot air, where would it have originated from? Some say they can see the spirit of a woman with a child ghost floating right below her. Perhaps a nanny holding the hand of a child. The following incident was captured by the doorbell camera of Christine, a retired police officer. She states that a disturbed lady showed up this night and was trying to get into her house. She is then seen ripping the screen from Christine's store.
What is going on? What is going on? I will shoot! I have a gun! Why? What are you doing?
Seconds before the police arrives, the woman tries to hide.
Hi. Hi.
Do you live here?
No, I don't.
So why are you banging on the door?
Because my friend was there.
It turns out that the disturbed woman was Hannah Nakagawa, a first-grade teacher. It is suspected that Hannah was under the influence of alcohol, and police took her into custody that night. Christine was left extremely unsettled after this incident, which is understandable. What would you have done? The following video was shared by Aphides, a young man who was out one evening to investigate the story of an abandoned and also apparently haunted asylum located in Broby, Sweden. Many people have found their end in there. It is said that several ghosts still roam this old building, and the young man went out to see if this was actually the case.
Stanna! Vi går!
After this blood-curdling scream, the young man filming seems to be capturing a shadow person that can briefly be seen escaping through the door. Could that be possible? Did they capture something from a different time? Or was this just a trick of the eye? Even if so, where did that creepy scream come from? Who can say? This is a recording which was captured by ghost hunter Rafael Ferpa, and he shared this pretty unsettling encounter on his profile. He states that he was out investigating that night when he noticed a possible ghost in an old abandoned house.
Nossa, tem alguém ali! Cara, eu só acho que eu vi alguém daqui. Acho que eu vi alguém aqui, cara. Juro pra vocês. Eu vi alguém aqui. Assim, senti um cabelo.
Raphael believes that the spirit of a woman wanted him out of the house and that we could briefly hear her at the end of the video. Could that be her? Of course, this whole incident could also just be a big hoax. What's your opinion? This is the case of Joe Cummings, who captured something really creepy after installing a security camera in his kitchen area. The young man states that he noticed food disappearing overnight and that several items were sometimes found in places where he certainly had not left them. After confronting his girlfriend, she denied to have been the culprit, making Joe actually question his sanity and then installing the CCTV camera. What he found was quite shocking, to say the least. A strange woman is crawling out of the crawl space on top of the kitchen area. She then keeps going through Joe's fridge, eating his food, checking the pantry, and hanging out for a little bit. Before Joe decides to go for a little midnight snack. The scary part is, Joe did not notice the freeloader in his kitchen and went back to bed. Can you imagine the imminent danger he might have found himself in? Shortly after, the woman returned back into the crawl space. When Joe checked the footage the following day, his jaw literally dropped to the floor, and he had police take care of the matter. What a creepy encounter. Was sent in by a viewer who was exploring the abandoned Belitzer Heilstätten in Brandenburg, in which even I was investigating many years ago with my team. They were scouting the location for an upcoming documentary filming.
Hallo? Scheiße! Weg hier!
This young man was exploring an abandoned civil hospital. His friends told him that sometimes things can be seen there that no one has an explanation for. Could he capture one of the former patients? Did you notice anything strange? Neither did the young man. But let's look at that again now. There appears to be an old man in a hospital gown, with some slippers. How come nobody saw him at the time? Maybe a spirit?